It's very difficult to know what to say about the Ebola outbreak. Let me take a crack at it. First, let's lower the levels of international hysteria. This is a disease which can be contained. It can only be transmitted through direct contact with bodily fluids. It doesn't get transmitted through the air, and with the proper medical response and quarantine, we can contain the epidemic. Second, do not wall off West Africa. Don't cancel all the flights to West Africa. There are many health personnel who want to assist and feel that they can assist. And the countries desperately need doctors and nurses and clinicians and pharmacists and community health workers, people who will respond. And these are countries like Liberia and Sierra Leone whose health systems are entirely dysfunctional and devastated. And they've lost doctors and nurses. They need the assistance. Number three, transfer, however modest the number of doses may be, of the serum to West Africa and let it be distributed to those who need it. That will involve excruciating choices of who gets the treatment. But Africa's used to that. Many ministers of health in Africa have made those priorities available when they were dealing, for example, with the paucity of drugs to treat HIV and AIDS in the early stages. Number four, understand the sophistication at community level in Africa. Understand that community health workers can move home to home, village to village, community to community, spreading messages to explain how not to get infected. It does take hold. And number five, recognize that we are about to deal with stigma. Stigma is still haunting and confounding the response to HIV and AIDS. It will confound some of the response to Ebola, particularly those who recover from the disease. We should plan for it now. This is not something that imperils the world. With an urgent and intelligent and planned response, the World Health Organization can orchestrate a conclusion. Now let me jump to another topic, as I've done frequently in previous commentaries, which is unrelated, and that is what happened last week in France, when the Parliament of France decided to pass a gender equality legislative act, promoting parental leave and particularly paternity leave, and in addition to that, equality at work and at home. But above all, at any time during the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, a woman can ask for an abortion with no need to cite the reasons. What an excellent blow for sexual and reproductive rights, and what a marvelous antidote to those maundering right-wing misogynists who are trying to cut back on freedom of choice and curtail the right to an abortion, particularly in countries like the United States and beyond. And finally, I have to point out that it's 122 days since the girls were abducted in Nigeria, and the world has yet to deal with Boko Haram. Apparently, we can deal with northern Iraq, equally difficult terrain, but not with Nigeria. Someone's going to have to explain that one day. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.